This is absolutely spooky. I hope no one turns off the lights on me as a joke.
Today we are in South Georgia exploring one of the many forts that have protected the town of Savannah, Georgia from invading forces. We are at the Fort McAllister State Park to take in some fresh air and to explore the fort for which this park is named. My name is Don. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And now let's enjoy this film.
This was an active fort back in the Civil War era, and it played an important role in the war between the Union States and the Confederate States. And this is the remains of one of the ships that were part of the Confederate fleet. It originally started its life as a mail ship to deliver mail, and then it was purchased by the Confederate Army. And then I believe it sunk right across the way in the river. We're gonna go check that out, but they've got an exhibit of some of the different pieces from, is this like the parts that move the ship from the engine room? I believe it to be so. So they just have it laid out here. So after checking out the exhibit for the ship that was sunk here, the Confederate ship, we are at the fishing pier. So we're gonna walk down. There's some folks down here fishing. And the boat that was sunk is somewhere out here in the water. I was told that with the passage of time, of course, the only remnants were the ones under that shed that's being protected from the weather, but everything else is either covered up with sediment or has been degraded. But here we are walking out into the Outtro River over this fishing pier. Wonder if they caught anything today. Wow, it is so windy. And it smells good too. Really good, it smells really, really good.
Located on the banks of the Outtro River and south of the city of Savannah, Georgia, the McAllister State Park covers 1,725 acres of land, offers bike and kayak rentals, has a fully preserved conservative Army fort, and offers miles of biking and hiking trail among other amenities.
So I am standing in front of the museum, so we're gonna go check out what's in the museum here at Fort McAllister. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. That's one thing I need to ask. Am I pronouncing the name properly? Hi. Hello. Am I pronouncing the name properly? Is it McAllister? McAllister. Okay, I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. So we're looking down at a display of the fort that was actually in this area that this state park is now part of. And we're gonna go visit this. And then we're also checking out some of the exhibits here inside of the museum that is part of the state park. And even though America is a pretty young country, there has been a lot of history in its short life. So we're just gonna quickly walk through, check out some of the exhibits on display, and then we're gonna make our way to the fort that this state park is named for. So enjoy some pictures, and then we're gonna head on out to the fort.
Here are some things you need to know before you visit the Fort McAllister State Park. To enter the state park, there is a $5 per vehicle fee. Access to the fort has a separate fee of $10 as it's managed by a separate entity. There are 7 cottages, 6 tent spaces, trailer and RV campsites available for rental. There are also a variety of picnic shelters, a Civil War museum, and a gift shop all on site.
And now we are leaving the museum behind and we're walking toward the remains of the fort. I do have a map, but I'm just going to be free-ranging it and just bouncing from one thing to the next. And we're checking out the moss on the trees. There's also a stand over there with like a lookout. Let's go look at the Ogeechee River, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Ogeechee River is one of the major rivers in the area, and this fort was the southernmost Confederate fort that was being used to defend the city of Savannah, as well as the railways that supported the Confederate effort here in the area. So let's go walk up to the observation deck and see what we can see. And it's very windy today and a little chilly. All right, so we made it to the top of this observation deck here, and wow, it is windy, but it's bearable. You can see the water having waves from the wind. Pretty cool. Making our way down this promenade is where the non-commissioned officers would have slept in the days when the fort was functional. We're going to go into one of the NCO sheds and see what it looks like. So there are 3 beds in here. There's a little window. And for warmth, there's a wood stove. There's a blacksmith over here working in a reproduction tent of what the blacksmith shop would have been. This is a barracks where officers would have stayed, similar. I believe that's the barracks. I'm not sure what that is, but that's the barracks. But here we've got a blacksmith. Hi. All right, so we're gonna continue walking along, and there's a bridge up here. Okay, so we're walking down to the parade grounds here. So this is where the parade grounds is located. And over here we have some armament. So this in front of me, that's a furnace. That's where they would heat up the cannonballs. So that's where the cannonball would come out of. They'd grab it with tongs, T-O-N-G-S, bring them down this hallway. There is the cannon that they would bring the cannonballs to. As you can see, there's a hallway there as well. Okay. And then the cannon would be pointing out into the river. So we're checking out this sign here, and it talks about landmines or torpedoes being buried in the area. And what the Union Army did was, if they captured any Confederate soldiers, they would make those soldiers go dig up the landmines. So I don't think I'll be going over there. Who knows what's out there? But let's go back and check out more of the fort. This area behind me served a number of purposes. Because it was underground, it worked as an area to store supplies. It also worked as an area where injured soldiers would be taken to be treated. And then some of the senior officers also slept here to kind of avoid being killed in bombardments. And it seems like it is open, so we can go down, exercise our curiosity. Oh, wow. So you can see the beds made up as if the soldiers were still living here. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Let's continue down the hallway. Now, of course, it's been updated with some modern conveniences such as, this type of lighting. But wow, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. I didn't expect it to be this big. Holy potatoes. So they've got these double bunk beds. And I am walking through this area with the flickering light. Now I think the light kind of simulates back in those days where they would have like, you know, like candlelight or whatever. And this is absolutely spooky. I hope no one turns off the lights on me as a joke, but yeah, that would not be cool. But yeah, let's get back out before the power goes out. Because I don't know what I would do if the power goes out. I would probably just lose it. Oh my goodness. Whew, sunlight. We made it back out to daylight. That was a huge space. Okay, so this here, this cannon is called a Columbiad, and it's one of those defense cannons that were used to defend the coast. And it is huge. But we're gonna end this video here. There are so many different things to check out here at this historic fort right outside of Savannah, Georgia. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. My name is Don. See you on the next one. Peace.